Here's my vision board of the federal government. To begin, we have the legislative branch. They consist of the Senate, the Congress, and the House of Representatives. They can declare war, they have the power to enact legislation, and they can confirm or reject presidential appointments and substantial investigative powers. My theme for the legislative branch is the backbone because I believe they're an important and structural piece to the government as a whole. Next, we have the executive branch. It consists of the cabinet, the president, the vice president, executive agencies, and the executive office of the president. Here, the president is the head of state, head of government, and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He is also responsible for the execution and enforcement of the laws created by Congress. The executive agencies regulate many organizations for big industries and citizens. The cabinet is an advisory group selected by the president and confirmed by the Senate. The executive office of the president is overseen by the White House Chief of Staff. They're responsible for anything from communicating messages from the president to promoting trade interests abroad. Here we have the executive agencies that are overseen by the cabinet. We have important things like the Department of Agriculture, Department of Education, and the Department of Justice, which I believe are some of the most important agencies that are used in everyday life. So my theme for the executive branch is the heart, because just as the heart is responsible for circulating blood and nutrients and oxygen throughout the body, the executive branch is a big part and kind of one of the central part of the government, because it has so many things and it has so many parts to it, and it's one of the main branches that is directly related to the people. So lastly, we have the judiciary branch. It is composed of the Supreme Court that has 9 justices and smaller federal courts. Its job is to interpret the laws that were drafted by the legislative branch and enforced through the executive branch. It interprets the Constitution and limits the powers of the other branches. It has all 3 court levels. That includes the District Court, the Court of Appeals, and the Supreme Court. My theme for the judiciary branch is muscle, because I believe it's the strongest point of the government as a whole. The tactic of judicial review is to kind of oversee everybody else, that everything else that's going on in the government, to check back and make sure that it is constitutional. And at the end of the day, it's a strong point because you have to have muscle to be able to carry the rest of the government to make sure that it's doing what it was created for, which is to be the utmost benefit to the people. Thank you.